I don't wanna waste time. Well, remember tonight I found something here with you. Running by the roadside, wait up for me. I'd go anywhere that you do. Put it all out in the open. No, we don't have to control it. Put it all out in the open. If it's only for a moment, it's a lifetime of emotion. Put it all out in the open. Don't tell me it's time to go. Now that we made this far, wandered to a broken, never look back to the ocean. Still know you'll meet me at home. When we're lost and out of focus and we don't know where the road is, but still know you'll meet me at home. Meet me at home. When I can't decide and the fear leaves me blind, you always will lead me through. If you need me at the wrong time, throw it all out by the wayside. There's nothing that I wouldn't do. Put it all out in the open. No, we don't have to control it. Put it all out in the open. If it's only for a moment, it's a lifetime of emotions. Put it all out in the open.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you haven't. So today I'm going to be doing a video that is long overdue, and that is about my engagement. So grab a cup of coffee, grab some wine. I have some wine here, so we can get in the wedding mood. And I'm going to be sharing my story with Derek, how we met, how we picked out a ring, how our engagement went, and then our plans for the future. So the way we met was a little bit unique. And there's this town like half an hour away, no, probably more, like 40 minutes away from where I grew up. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with stag and does, but they're like to raise money for the bride and groom, but it's basically like a country dance, and they're so much fun. So my friends and I had found like this area, and we knew a few people there, and we went to one stag there because my friend knew the bride like randomly. So then we ended up staying at these people's houses, and we went to the stag and we had so much fun. And there was like 3, I think, stags coming up that we were like, can we come to like all of them? And the people like that were renting the house that we stayed at were like, yeah, of course. So for like 3 weekends straight, I think, we went to these random stags. We didn't know the bride and groom, but they were so much fun. They're just like dancing and meeting new people, and it was really cool to like get out of our environment in our town and like try something new and meet new people. It was so much fun. So the second stag or the third stag, the second stag, my friends, it was like later in the evening, my friends had either gone home, one of them went home, and then the rest were already on the dance floor. And like, I love to dance. Like, if there's music going, I'm dancing, and it's one of my favorite things in the whole world. So I was like, oh, I need to be on the dance floor, but I didn't know anybody else that was there that would dance with me. So I literally, I mean, this came with some liquid courage, don't get me wrong, but I literally turned to everyone was like kind of like standing around the dance floor, like watching kind of. And so I literally turned to the person like standing right beside me, and I was just like, hey, like, do you want to dance? And he was like, okay. And that ended up being my fiance, now Derek. So we danced the night away. He was leaving, and he ended up like saying goodbye, getting my number, and then I like kind of like looked around and I was like, oh my gosh, all my friends are gone. So I like I think I got a coat at that point. I like went and got my coat, and we were able to walk back to this person's house. So as I was leaving though, Derek was like standing, him and his friends were like standing outside, and he was like, oh hey, I was like, hey, like I think my friends left, and he's like, do you want to drive home? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So he ended up driving me back to the place, and then him and his friends hung out for like a few hours with my friends. It was super fun, and then we were texting that whole week, and then he ended up coming and we went on a date on the Friday. And then he's actually a dairy farmer, so I think it was like the next weekend, he was running the farm by himself because the people that he worked for were away. So he was like, oh, I have to run it by myself, like you should come stay with me. So I ended up staying with him the whole weekend, and ever since then, like I was over there a lot, and then like 2 months in I moved in with him because he lived like really far away from where I was living, so it didn't make sense, like, and his schedule was so crazy, so it made more sense for me to move in because we like weren't getting to see a lot of each other at the time, and that is super risky. I think like a really good thing for me was that I was living with my parents, and I knew I could go back there if things didn't work out. So yeah, I moved in with him, and the rest is history. We then spent a few years in a rental house, and then we ended up buying the house we're in now. I'll link my house tour down below. It's really hot in here. And then a year after we bought our house, we started talking about getting married because it was kind of like the next step. We were like settled in and we were ready to get married. So literally a year to the day we bought our house, we went to the store and we picked out rings. This is kind of controversial. Some people like want to do this, some people don't. I didn't mind picking out my own ring because I knew I would like it. My worst fear is for someone to be on their knee, open a box and be like, will you marry me? And I'm like, oh my god, yes, but not with that ring. Like, that's crushing for them too because they went through the effort of like picking it out for you, and if you don't like it, you either have to wear it for the rest of your life or hurt their feelings. So I was happy to do that. Also, Derek's a farmer and he doesn't make it to Ottawa ever without me. Like, he never goes to town without me, so it just made more sense. So that I picked up my ring, we ordered it, and then I got it sized, and then I picked it up 6 weeks later. So this was in October, and then he waited all the way till March to do it. He said that he was waiting for me to kind of like forget about it, so it'd be more of a surprise, and I was like, bruh, like, that's not happening. Like, who, like, do you know how women work? Like, I'm not gonna just forget about it. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So it was a little rough. Like, everything we did, I was kind of like, is it happening? Is it happening? And I think that's like one of the reasons why it being a surprise would be nice. But again, like, I got the ring I wanted and I don't regret it. So yeah, we were at a cabin. We rented a cabin for the weekend, and it was amazing. Like, it was off Airbnb, so you're kind of like, ooh, like, what's this gonna be like? But it ended up being like perfect. Such a great weekend. Our dog was there, so we were, the last night I was like, oh, he's not even gonna do it. Like, I was like getting kind of annoyed. I was like, hey, like, let's go. So the last night we were at the bonfire, and I like threw a stick for my dog, and then I turned around and he was down on one knee, and then he just said like my full name and will you marry me? And I was like, yes, of course. Like, it was just a cute moment, like, just perfect. And then, so my dad already knew because he had asked my dad, which I was like, we went there the weekend before and he like asked him without me knowing, and I was like, that was super important to me. That's super traditional, and I'm not a traditional person. Like, my wedding's not gonna be like all traditional, but just like I don't know, I just liked it. So my dad already knew, but he hadn't made it sure, like, he didn't tell anybody. And actually I had told most of my friends we bought a ring before that because I have the biggest mouth ever. I can't keep anything to myself. How I didn't tell my family, I have no idea. Like, word vomit, like, I tell everything. So my friends already knew, so I like sent them a picture of it. And then my mom, we were meeting her like on the way home to see my grandma, so it ended up working out like perfectly. So she like got out of the car, and she was like, oh, like, just talking to me, and then I was just like, and she was like, what? And I was like, Yeah. And then I was actually going away with my mom like the next day, so I ended up texting my brother and my sister a picture, and they were like super happy and like excited. And then for his family, I texted his sister the picture, and the picture is me like around him like this with my ring showing, and then he's like, I'm kissing his cheek because I had no makeup on, so I had to like make it not be able to see my face. So I'm kissing his cheek, and then he's smiling. So then I texted his sister the picture, and she was like, oh, like you finally got him to smile. And I was like, no, like look at my hand. And so she like looked at my hand, she's like, oh my god. So then we called his mom, and then she showed his mom the picture, and then she was like, what, like freaking out. And then his dad did the same thing, like he came over actually, and then Derek's like, oh, she has something to show you. So I showed him, and he was like, oh, you got a new piece of jewelry. And it was just funny. And so then yeah, that's like how we kind of told everybody. So that was March to now it's July. And we're getting married next July. So we're getting married at my family farm. My brother got married there a few years ago, so it's kind of like easy for me to picture what it's gonna be like. And I just want like low-key but a party, like a dance floor party. Like I said, I love dancing. So yeah, I'm in the middle of trying to like figure all that out, but it's a lot of work planning a wedding, and I didn't really realize how much work it was. And the little things that you're forgetting, like the music, like what music's gonna be playing when. I'm like, wait, like I forgot about that. And I'm really trying to kind of, it's not a low budget for me, like this amount of money is ridiculous to spend, but it's also not a crazy budget. And so like for example, I looked at a used wedding dress the other day, and it's gorgeous. It fits me to a T, like it's crazy. And I had my heart set on a used wedding dress because that's not where I wanted to spend my money, especially because like it's used for one night. Get it dry cleaned, like it's the same thing, like, and it's kind of special to me that, I mean, this girl was so nice, and like it's special to me that she already like had her dream day in it, and now it's like making its way. It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants, like it's like making its way to me so that I can have my dream day. And so that is like really cool. Yeah, so that's about all I have. Like I've thought of a few things. I don't think I'm gonna have a bridal party, I'm not sure yet. And my dad's band's playing, and that's kind of something I've learned too, like rely on family. My cousin's gonna do a video, my sister-in-law is gonna make cupcakes, and everyone's kind of like doing their part, and it's like really, I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, so should be a blast. We're gonna have a dance party, like it's gonna be really, really fun. So yeah, that is my engagement story, and thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Oh yeah, my ring. I just wanted something super simple, and really like, it's not tiny, but it's not huge, and it's just like a circle, and then the band gets like, goes in closer to the diamond, and then my wedding band is going to be all sparkly, so it's gonna look sparklier. They have the same ring, but it had sparkles here too, but I thought it was like too much on my hand, because I'm like a pretty like simple low-key gal, so I didn't want something like huge and sparkly. But yeah, it's really cute, I love it, and I'm super happy with it. So if you have the chance to pick out your own ring, I highly recommend it. Okay, thanks for watching guys, and subscribe below. Bye!